Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So happy days are here again. That's really how I feel. I'm not even joking. That's really how I feel. I feel like normal service has been restored. I am, of course, talking about Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a show I've loved all my life, right? I've loved it. I mean, look around you, okay? Like, you know, I've adored this show my entire life. I love the revival. I loved pretty much everything. I've even loved bad Doctor Who, right? I've loved in the mid-80s, which I've done a deep dive rewatch on the 85... was it Colin Baker, Nicola Bryant season, and there was a lot of bad Doctor Who in it, right? There was a lot of bad Doctor Who in it. Freaking loved it. There was a lot of good as well. Freaking loved it, right? I freaking loved it. I've always adored Doctor Who. And you know, when Jodie Whittaker came on board as a new Doctor and Chris Chibnall, I just assumed I would continue liking it, right? I thought, how bad could it be? I actually thought it'd be good, right? I genuinely thought it was going to be good. All the people going, oh no, this is, wokeness gone mad. I was like, oh, you backward-looking Luddites. I was not that side of history, right? I really was. And then it turned out to be awful, right? It turned out to be awful and hateful, and bringing with it awful, hateful people. I mean, the fans, I'm not saying universally, obviously, but there was such a vocal element of, like, these toxic fans that came with it. And now it's over, right? It's weird. It feels like, I don't know, VE Day, or like, post, like the week after, right? It's very strange. It's over. So normal service has been resumed. Rusty Davies is back at the helm. He's got lots of stuff in this month's Doctor Who magazine talking about what we can look forward to the future. It's so weird that I'm talking normally about Doctor Who, right? Of what we can look forward to for the future. Now, I know a lot of you out there, I do not think it's going to be any good. Think it's going to be as bad as the Jodie Whittaker stuff. I just don't think it is. Look, I've been wrong about many things, right? But I just don't think it is. I genuinely think that Rusty Davies has too much a talent and ability to put out garbage. If he does, I'll be the first one to say it, right? Just like I'm the first one to say, well, I'm not the first one. I say as soon as I can. Like, I don't know if I'm the first one to say things. But, like, yeah, when Star Trek, Strange New Worlds happened, I liked it. I thought it was good. I was entertained, right? I expected to hate it. I liked it when Picard season, 2 came out? The first episode was very good. I was very encouraged by it. I'm happy to turn around on the dime. So look, if this new era Doctor Who is awful, and if it is, it is. You know, it's not my fault. I will give you my honest opinion. That's why really the bottom line. I will always give you my honest opinion. My honest opinion right now is happy days are here again, baby. Happy days are here again. I think there's reason to be excited and optimistic, right? I really, really do. So, we have what to look forward to. Fine. We're going to be going through the Russell Davies' new production notes and what else is there? There's a blurb on all the whole new production team. We'll go through that. And then Matt Hancock also has a production diary thing. I'm not sure. Look, it depends how long it takes. So it depends how long it takes if I get through to that. If I don't get through to that, then I will probably do it on my live stream, which for me is tonight, and for you was last night. This video is going out on Friday. I hope, right? I hope it's going out Friday. I guess we'll find out. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things. All those things are fantastic. Thank you very much. I really, really do genuinely thank you. If you haven't subscribed, if you can consider clicking that button, it really helps, right? It really, really helps. And you want to sign up my Substack, there's my email newsletter. It's in the video notes. I put extra stuff out on there whenever I can, okay? I try and do it a few times a week. I've been busy this week, right? But I put stuff out there wherever I can, like old Doctor Who magazine articles, stuff I find interesting, stuff I go, oh, that's interesting. Okay, this is a sort of emotional response I have from it. You ever see Firefly? The first two-parter, right? The initial pilot. When they show it episodically, it ends on there's this guy there who has a mysterious box, and the captain of the ship demands it to be opened up, right? And they're like, no, the big fight, but it gets opened up and they look inside, and inside is a unconscious, naked Summer Glau. And quite frankly, I don't think you need to ask any more questions after that. Summer Glau is a very attractive young lady. If you did not, how old is she? Is she still a young lady? I always think of her as a young lady, even though she's probably in like a 40s now. I have no idea. But anyway, my point is this. My point is the reaction was absolutely perfect. Reaction to fight is what we would all do if we found a naked, unconscious Summer Glau in a big box on a spaceship. His response was, and that's basically where I am. When anything I find that I go, that's interesting, I put into my Substack. So yeah, sign up. It's free, baby, and it lets you know where to find me. I thought I would be banned along with Stephen Crowder. During the midterms, I think that might be delusional grandeur, but still, sign up anyway. I'm also on Rumble. Rumble's growing nicely. If you're watching on Rumble, hit that Rumble button, baby. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. Yes, we've covered everything. So let's have a look at this month's Doctor Who magazine, specifically the production notes. And again, normal service has been restored. I mean, that's really the vibe I get from this, right? Normal service has been restored. How much more traditional classic Doctor Who can you get? By the way, if you look at the logo, the famous Tom Baker logo, he's debuted with John Pertwee. It's very subtly, very cleverly updated. I do like the chunkiness of it, right? I like that three-dimensional. You get a feeling there's something of weight there going on. Fine, but I'm reading from Doctor Who magazine. I recommend you go and buy your own copy, even though how much is this? $6.99 for print. Bloody hell! I mean, I honestly, I would say buy the digital subscription. $6.99. Blimey, that's really expensive. Although I don't listen. My head is still in the 90s, right? My head is still like, $2.99, And although for drinks, my head's still in the 80s. Like I'm still like blown away when I'm in England, I go and get a pint and it's over 80p. I was like, really? What? What's going on? If you're in England and you get Mike, you know how dated that is, right? I don't do well with things changing. That's why I'm pretty glad to see all this. Anyway, let's have a look and see what Russell has to say to us. Brand new production, letter from the showrunner. Ooh, just imagine. Wonder who did the illustration. Why couldn't Russell have done the illustration? I guess he's busy, right? Production notes. Things are lighting up. No, stop lighting up. There you go. Production notes has regenerated. Oh, just imagine. Glorious. I should have a Russell Davies soundboard. You can just do all the Russell Davies-y things. Russell Davies, Doctor Who returning boss, writes exclusively for Doctor Who magazine. And again, oh boy, I miss this. I mean, this is not the Doctor Who I grew up with, but I've really achingly missed this. This was like just the best time in Doctor Who, right? It really was. And also, he writes very nicely. I recommend that book he wrote with, unfortunately, with Ben Cook, who also has an article in there. Ben Cook must be like dancing a jig. Doctor Who magazine has essentially been saved, along with Doctor Who, right? Has been dancing. So Ben Cook, he's a guy who writes for Doctor Who magazine. He's a very talented guy. He wrote a book with Russell Davies called The Writer's Tale, which is really good. I really, really super recommend that. But he's also, what can I say? He's the sort of guy who likes to sit on Twitter and tell people they're wrong. Like, he lives for that, right? He absolutely lives for that. Doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. That's really what he lives for. And he's made so many people not want to buy Doctor Who magazine anymore. But look, he's mates with Russell Davies, so he's back, right? He's back. It's all back. And there's a lot of things he got in trouble for. Remember the Time Team? Oh man, Time Team was great, wasn't it? Each week they would watch an episode of Doctor Who in Doctor Who magazine, and commented on it like in that's weird, isn't it? They got a crease in the page like burnt in. That's really bizarre. I want that. It just looks like that. Anyway, the time when they watched an episode of Doctor Who in order, right, going right from the beginning, you got like their first hand responses. I really like that. So anyway, Ben Cook took it over and changed the team from a demographic that basically reflects the readership to like this massive team of people who, are marginalised. There we say, are on the progressive stack, and as is so often with these things, the ended awfully, right? Ended up with somebody being a sex pest, and they had to close it, and it was just like blew up in their face horribly. But we're just going to pretend it didn't happen. That's basically what I think we're doing with the Jodie Whittaker era. So we are just scooting off to the side. The comic strip in this, which I was kind of miffed. They gave the artwork to what's it called again? Lee Sullivan, lovely Sullivan, right? But my mate Russ Leach was doing it for the Jodie Whittaker comic strips the last like 6 months or so. I think they should have kept him on, right? I think they should have kept him on. But you got that first follow-on adventure from the regeneration in this issue, right? In this issue, I think I'll probably do a video about it. But obviously, by the time that we get to see David Tennant back on screen, some time will have gone by. The TARDIS will have changed, and that's all going to be taken care of in Doctor Who magazine, right? And they couldn't do that when they did when they first in 2005 because. Until Christopher Eccleston was seen on screen, he couldn't be in print for some weird draconian reason. I have no idea what the reason was. So he wasn't able to do it. But now, as we see David Tennant's 14th Doctor on screen, I think it's fair game. Anyway, that's we're reading this instead. And I was surprised that Russell didn't write that. But anyway. What? Hello, faithful reader. And again, I wish I had that on a soundboard. Here I am, settled down, quiet at the back. No! We're too excited! We're not going to be quiet. We're too bloody happy. And let me tell you exactly how DWM itself created this new era of Doctor Who. Tell me more. Can't be intrigued. I want to know. Because it's nice to look back now and wonder how it all began. Yes, I want to know how it all began again. As I sit here with 10 scripts in front of me, so we've got some kind of like an episode count now for the new season, right? 4 specials, 4 specials, and 6 episodes of the new series so far, with episode 7 blinking away on the screen. First line, interior coffee bar, USA, 1947. And instantly, I'm excited. I just don't understand how. We just got to get off the Chris Chibnall, Jodie Whittaker years because it's just. What can I tell you? It's just like I spent the last 5 years in a concentration camp. It is on my my mind somewhat, right? How could he not write anything that interested me? It's incredible. So anyway, we've got at least seven episodes. My guess is going to be 10 to 12. Oh, I can just imagine. 4 specials. So my guess now, 3 specials in November, and Shooty is on Christmas Day. We're going to see Shooty on Christmas Day. Oh, freaking wait, mate! Can't wait. And to continue an old tradition, I can tell you that special one contains 3 words. Westerly Pelican Dreams. Okay, I love it. He does that. Fine. Okay. Does that tell me anything? Nah, not really. But it is fun when you watch the episode because again, he did this during. I remember when Rose came out, right? A lot of you were around then watching. But I remember when Rose came out, and he was in 2003 and 2004. He was doing production notes, and he wrote like. Random words that he would put in episodes, and when you heard, he went, oh! It's like, you just feel like it's kind of this interactive thing. But it's funny. Only a year into pre-production, the principal players have all already got slightly different memories of how it happened. That is interesting, isn't it? I do like that. I've learned over the years that when the official history of Doctor Who says that in 1970 Barry Letts said X, Y, and Z, it was probably no such thing. That event was chiseled into anecdote 25 years later. Reader, is anything ever true? Well, not in this strange world we live in. By the way, I love this little post they put in. Is that the one they put out in the I'll tweet along image by Andrew Mark Thompson. Yeah, he does a bunch of these great. Is this the guy who does a bunch of those posters? I can't remember. But yeah, listen, I mean, I know David Tennant's back because of the wash-alongs, but the whole revival, I'm intrigued. Is anything true? Well, tell me what's true, Russell. Tell me what's true. 3 paragraphs in, and I'm already existential. Well, there, yeah. You're cracking on. It's okay. The new era begins. During the lockdown, Emily Cook from Doctor Who magazine organised the tweet-alongs. Brilliant, right? Absolutely brilliant. I think we might see something similar to that with the new era, because he really liked it, right? The cast and crew selected episodes, tweeting simultaneously with fans worldwide. Enormous fun. It was one of the most unifying times in fandom that I can remember. It was glorious, right? It was absolutely. Then Paul Cordell showed up and was a cunt to everyone, right? Blocked anybody who didn't share his politics. Oh, what a fucking idiot! Really, I mean, honestly, that's really the thing that runs through my what fucking idiot. Right? Used to be we could put our differences aside and we could enjoy Doctor Who together, right? And yeah, I often cite Nicholas Briggs as a really good example. Or Nicholas Briggs and myself as a really good example of how inclusive Doctor Who is, right? Nicholas Briggs is a dyed-on-the-wall lefty. I mean, I don't think everybody thinks they're in the centre ground, but like, I don't really like the Tories that much. I think they're awful. I don't like the Republican Party that much. Yeah, I think they're awful too. But I don't like the left, the left political parties much more. I think they're truly awful and evil to a certain extent. And at a certain extent, it's getting much more pronounced, right? But Doctor Who's a place where we intersected, and it was great, right? Like, because here's the bottom line, and this is something that's really been forgotten in 2022. I think it got forgotten, it started to get forgotten, it started to be forgotten around the mid 2010s. Is that all people are basically good, right? All people basically want everybody to have an equal amount of goodness, right? If you somebody who thinks that open borders are a good thing, it's because you probably want to be compassionate, right? But people who don't want open borders are equally being compassionate, right? That's how people with differing worldviews could intersect over Doctor Who, because Doctor Who always wanted to have the best thing for most people, right? Enormous fun. David Tennant, Catherine Tate and I gathered around to watch The Runaway Bride, and afterwards I just got on my phone. It was 1 minute past 8 on December 18th, 2020. Catherine texted me to say how much she enjoyed it. I texted back, said, God, let's get David to do some more Doctor Who, some more Doctor and Donna. I loved it so much. Do you know, true fact, until I looked at those those texts up, I thought Catherine said it first, but it was me. Okay, memories are coloured by our emotional resonance of what's going on, right? But it was me. I don't think I really meant it though. Honestly, no secret plan at work. But then Catherine implied, "Let's do it." The Doctor and Donna, the Lost Adventures. I mean, okay. I mean, they were doing it in order as well. But I thought that was that. We wouldn't really go back, would we? No, I didn't think you would either. There was no space, surely. Jodie was being magnificent on screen. Look, Russell, I really, really commend your professionalism and your ability to praise anyone and anything. It's very, very impressive. Jodie was being magnificent on screen. Okay, magnificent failure. My old mate Chris Chibnall was in fine form. Wow, man. That's very impressive. Very impressive. But then Catherine texted me on the 23rd of December, said, David said you'd do it again in a heartbeat. Who do you need to speak to? Come on, let's get the old bang back together. Oh, really? Wow. Merry Christmas. I double-checked with David. He said yes. And then so was the shooting thing going on by then? It sounded like not. And then, I simply had to be professional. As a former producer of Doctor Who, I had a job to do. If David and Catherine expressed a wish to return, it was literally my job to let the BBC know. It wasn't my choice anymore. It was my duty, right? I knew the 60s was coming up, 3 years ahead. I knew vaguely Chris was only doing 3 years as showrunner. You knew vaguely, did you? Did you hear his contract wasn't being renewed? Did you vaguely hear that? Did you, Russell? I get a feeling that's something you might have vaguely picked up on. As showrunner, although I remember Stephen Moffat saying about TV, never do a full season, and he stayed for 500 years. Chris and I are old mates. We're usually texting each other during At and Dex Saturday night takeaway. Well, it's better than Doctor Who, I guess, when Chip was doing, because we love it so much. Precisely because of that, I rarely ask Chris about Doctor Who, if ever. He gets enough work text, and friendship is much more important. See, this is why I like Russell T Davies, right? I don't know if he's lying, right? I don't know if this is a front he's putting out, but I so deeply agree with it. And again, this is another example of people with very differing worldviews completely agreeing and intersecting, because we are all basically good, right? I think we're all basically, good, decent people. And I think Russell just has such an innate understanding of human beings and family and relationship, and friendship, right? He has such an innate understanding of that. And I think he's right about all that. So I thought, well, I'll throw it out there, and since Chris is doing the busiest job in TV, I won't add to his workload. I'll email Piers Wenger, the director of drama. Okay, I do feel there's a bit more to this story than you're being told, right? Yeah. Simply reporting in to ask, I have no idea about your future plans, but might this fit in somewhere? A special anniversary, an extra, one-off, what do you think? The answer came back just saying, oh, that's interesting, thank you, let me get back to you. And then months passed. Months, I tell you. But that's normal for TV. Plus, everyone was, well, it was Christmas, right? Plus, everyone was learning how to make shows in lockdown, and I had stuff all on my own. January 21 turned into the most surprising thunderbolt of my career with Channel 4, It's a Sin. So I was kind of busy. Fine! So when he was doing his promotion for It's a Sin, which is where he said, the Doctor Who should have a cinematic a shared universe on Disney Plus, right? Which is what happened now, right? He wasn't. He didn't know he was going to be doing that, right? Good old Doctor Who felt very much until to be continued. In the next issue, in the issue after next. Because next month is Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Cliffhanger. Russell, mate. Again. Man, I just love the ability that you're able to do this job, right? Which is, I like radical competence, right? Fine. I am on board. I want to know more, right? I want to know more about how this happened. And I suppose the next few months, it will all play out, right? It'll all play out. But let's see who's going to be playing out this new era of Doctor Who. Like, who's going to be making it? So we got a rundown of meet the new team, right? So we're going to see the old faces and new faces. And a lot of them do talk a lot about Doctor Who. Let's have a look. So Joel Collins is executive producer. I don't know what the executive producer is. You only have like 30 of them, right? I have no idea what they do. Joel was the executive producer on the Bad Wolf co-productions, Industry and Its Dark Materials. Okay, he's in the office. That's how he got the job. Prior to this, his production design on Channel 4 Netflix anthology Black Mirror. Don't you think he was the production designer? Oh, he was the production designer, or the production designer. He was a production designer. Okay, so he comes from a very artsy visual background. And a 2005 feature film, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Good! I like the look of that movie, right? And Black Mirror is great. Fine, so what's your first memory? What's the first Doctor Who you remember watching? Brain of Morbius! Oh, nice question. Now, did you watch it on repeat or on the original run? My answer would be, and this is funny actually. My first time my first memory of Doctor Who is watching Planet of the Daleks. I remember Pertwee under the big fluffy purple ruggy things, right? But my first memory of Doctor Who, it being on, right, and watching it was a rerun in August of The Horns of Nimon, right? Who is your famous classic Doctor Who companion? Sarah James, Sarah Davies, played by Elizabeth Sladen. All these are the correct answers, right? All these are the absolute correct answers. Well done, Joel. You can stay. What are you most looking forward to? Oh, no spoilers. Well, you can spoil a little bit, mate. I'm looking forward to the countless non-stop mind and time bending adventures in our new TARDIS. Oh, let's see the new TARDIS, which in turn will give us endless production challenges and keep us permanently on our toes. It's what we live for. Oh, and the Daleks, of course. Oh, yes, the Daleks. Ooh. Phil Collison, returning face, right? Returning. What's the word I'm looking for? Returning favourite. A familiar figure to Doctor Who magazine readers. Phil was by Russell Davies' side during the production of the Christopher Eccleston and the original David Tennant episodes. Since leaving in 2008, Phil produced Coronation Street, 2 series of Gentleman Jack, and Russell's It's a Sin. Well, it sounds like he knows what he's doing. So what's the first Doctor Who you remember watching, Phil? It would be, I was told my first word was trashing. Really? My first words were, I'm a long-haired lover from Liverpool, right? It was a song at the time. And I spent a whole lot of life loving Doctor Who. Well, I don't think anybody can really doubt you on this, right? You have done pretty well with Doctor Who over the years. The first clear Doctor Who memory I have is the maggots in the Green Death. I was 2 years old, when it's transmitted in 1973. Who's your favourite classic companion? A classic Doctor Who companion. I grew up watching Sarah Jane Smith, so she has always occupied a special place in my heart. Unlike Perry, occupying a special lump in my trousers. What are you most looking forward to? I miss Cardis and the brilliant cast and crew that thrived there. I'm so glad to be back. Darling, we're all glad that you're back. So again, I want us to be clear here. The shooty Doctor Who came from the David Tennant one. That's really fascinating, right? That's really, really fascinating. So Vicky DeLisle is another producer. She was a script producer on EastEnders. Don't know what that means. Before joining Kudos Films and film and television as a development producer. In recent years, okay, Humans, Dark Materials, Lost Kingdom. Right, Dark Materials is the number one recruitment place. So what's the first Doctor Who she remembers watching? That's going to be Paradise Towers. Oh, look, I'm sorry about that. It's got a lot of heart, Paradise Towers. But man, why didn't they get like somebody with muscles to play Pex? In fact, there was this show called, what was it called again? Paradise or some Paradise Club, maybe, or was that a Leslie Grantham thing? But it had like a bunch of like bodybuilders in it. Like you should have got one of them to play. It was supposed to be a Rambo type character. Right, I love the two tribes, the creeping unease of the place, the social commentary of the time. I love the scary cleaner robots. Well, I guess when you're a kid, anything looks scary. Who's your favorite classic companion? It's Mel. So we're getting a broad brush making this thing, okay? Mel is her favorite companion. I love Bonnie Langford in the role. She got better when 20 years later when she did it on Big Finish. I wanted to be her, and her lovely red hair with a sing-song voice, and she was so kick-ass too. No, she wasn't. Again, you want to hear Mel being kick-ass? Get the Doctor Who Unbound story from Big Finish called He Jests at Scars, right? That's a pretty good one. What are we up to? Oh, what's she most looking forward to? I can't wait to be sitting in the sofa with my husband and kids. I bet. I'm telling you. One of the things I'm reasonably sad about is when the 2005 series came out, my kids were young. I love watching Doctor Who with my kids, and none of them I've been able to get at the front door to go and get married. One's on his way. One's getting close. Good for him. But I want grandkids to watch Doctor Who with. Can you come on? It would be a tradition. Go and watch Doctor Who with. Well, I was going to say granddad, but they'll probably call me Zeta. It's a Yiddish name for grandfather. Yeah, I mean that sounds awesome, right? So yeah, I do emphasize that. Watching new episodes, I just can't wait to see the look on their faces. I love that. My youngest daughter cried and cried when Rose left. I remember like cradling her. Oh, these are great memories. I mean, like my daughter crying, bawling. I mean, like it's a good memory. Okay, the funniest time my daughter started crying, right, was which is always a bad line to start a story with. The funniest time she started crying was when she was like 2 or 3 or so. She was really little, right? Really little. I said, "Oh, you're getting so big." And she started crying. I'm like, "What's wrong?" She said, "Well, that means I'm going to get older." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a good thing. That means I'm going to die," she said. She wasn't so on board for that. I said, "Yeah, but, not for some time, we hope." I just can't wait to see the look on their faces at what their mummy stroke wife did. Specifically, I can't wait for the first time the fans see the beautiful new TARDIS and Shooter's arrival. Yes! I want to see that. Yes, you want to see my face? I'll show it to you on YouTube, baby. It's gonna be there, right? It's gonna be a reasonably excited face. Okay. That day on set was absolutely magical. I think they'll be thrilled. So I don't think the new companion has been cast yet. Then from something else I read in the magazine, from Scott Hancock's production diary. They said they were only casting the new companion in late September. Julie Gardner's back now. Julie Gardner, along with Jane Tranter, are the people who run Bad Wolf. I think own Bad Wolf. I call them hot and milfy, right? Because last time I saw Julie Gardner, she had a huge afro, like all this lots of curly black hair, and was super pregnant. Now she looks like super Hollywood, in heels, and like a whole power executive producer look, right? As BBC Wales head of drama, Julie led the 21st century revival of Doctor Who. Yes, she did, and was wonderful doing it. In 2015, Julie and Jane Tranter co-founded the independent production company Bad Wolf. 4 years later, Julie founded Bad Wolf America. The sister company has had a number of upcoming projects, include I Hate Susie 2, The Winter King, and The Lady in the Lake for Apple TV+. I haven't heard of any of those things. I heard of Succession, which I really like. That's and of course The Dark Materials. What was the first Doctor Who she remembers? When I joined Russell at the return of 2004, he gave me his list of favourite episodes. One that made the biggest impression was City of Death. What's not to love? It's very true. Aliens, the Mona Lisa, Paris. The episode unlocked the wonder and joy and scale of Doctor Who for me and led me on a journey that I'm still on today. That is actually a great episode to introduce somebody to Doctor Who, right? This is this incredible show that we can play with. Favorite companion is Elizabeth Sladen. Being involved in her return, the return in the role of the Sarah Jane Smith in School Reunion, opposite David Tennant's 10th Doctor, and then her own series, the Sarah Jane event. It was an incredibly happy and rewarding experience. I am forever grateful to her. I think we're getting an Ace TV show, right? That's my most likely spin-off that we're going to get. She's most looking forward to all of it. Me too, Julie. I'm looking forward to all of it too. That's a very bit of a strange coincidence. The hard work, the sleepless nights. Well, I just get to sit and watch it. So thank you very much. The manners of it all. I never expected to be back. I never expected to be back either. But where Russell goes, I will always follow. I feel kind of the same. I have to tell you, I feel kind of the same. It's a delight and honour to be with with familiar faces mixed with new ones in our crew. And have greater ambitions and dreams as we begin to prep the series. And then, Ncuti Gatwa, what energy and soul and heart he will bring. I cannot wait. Well, I have to. Well, but I too cannot wait. Fine. So, Scott Hancock, a local boy made good. Okay, I'm really happy that he's got a job as script editor. He's no stranger to work on the series. He worked on Doctor Who Confidential, the Sarah Jane Adventures. They didn't know that. He's also gained considerable experience as a writer and producer on Big Finish, audio productions on Doctor Who, Class, Torchwood, and A Confession of Dorian Gray, which was very good. What got him the job, though, was the Russell T Davies missing adventure. Lost Adventure, whatever it's called, The Mind of Hojek, which wasn't very good. It just wasn't very good because he worked on that. First thing he remembers watching was the Sea Devils. Oh, look at bit of poetry there with a fencing blade. Oh, love it, love it. I clearly remember the sword fight cliffhanger. Mad, isn't it? Monsters coming out of the sea, passing me by. But a sword fight, well, the sword fight was awesome. Okay, I'm sorry. That was between the John Pertwee and the Master, freaking awesome. And then before you ask, it was 1992 repeat screening, Timey-wimey. Interesting. Favorite companion still, it's cruel because I work with most of them, but I have to say Sarah Jane Smith. She made such an impression on me as a child and then adult. We worked together on Sarah Jane Adventures. What's he most looking forward to? Genuinely, I am looking forward to never knowing what's coming next. Every day it's its own thing on Doctor Who. You can't predict anything on or off screen. Well, that's interesting. Okay, an interesting thing to point out, but okay. Ella Marsh says she's new. She's a co-producer. What does that mean? I don't know. So she's she was an associate producer on Succession and co-producer on Industry. I haven't seen Industry. I've seen Succession. Excellent show. So okay, check this out. This is a bit of a generational moment. What's the first Doctor Who you remember watching? What could it be? What could it be? Is it Remembrance of the Daleks? Is it Brain of Morbius? Yeah, what is it? Is it a really old one? Let me know. The End of the World. My mum was so excited the show came back in 2005. She couldn't wait to watch it with me. But I think we were away for the weekend the Rose was on. So the first one I actually watched was the second one, The End of the World. That's an interesting episode to start on. What does it say? Who's her favourite companion? Still Sarah Jane Smith. Look, Sarah Jane Smith did a lot of good for the Sarah Jane Smith Adventures. Did a lot of good for the character. Is what sent me back to classic Doctor Who. Tom Baker was my mum's doctor, so it made sense to watch their adventures together. They're so going to be an ace series, right? Again, I think she did Sophie Hall did a great job in Power of the Doctor. She's most looking forward to the new companion. I think they're one for the ages. Ooh, I'm nervous. Again, it can't be Yasmin Finney then, unless she's been re-auditioned for it, because all that stuff. They weren't casting it until after they filmed the David Tennant specials. So then we got Chris May. Chris was the first assistant season producer. She was the first assistant director on Sex Education and His Dark Materials. Okay, so he comes with shooting. Among many other series before producing ITV's forthcoming drama Litvenko, which stars David Tennant in a titular role. Yeah, he plays like a Russian spy dying who's been like poisoned or something. Okay. So the first Doctor Who they remember watching is Revenge of the Cybermen, a fine one to start with. Oh, you know what? They redid the special effects for Revenge of the Cybermen. I always remember, you can see it on screen there. You see that very big 70s cyber map, right? You see it, very large there. There being lots of CSO on it, but they redid the special effects. Did they redo that effect? I'm going to check after I finish recording this. So, Revenge of the Cybermen, classic Tom Baker. I used to watch it on VHS at my godfather's house over and over again. So, yeah, that was one of the first ones that came out. To this day, I'm still afraid that the silver snake, a still robot snake, may appear any time and attack me. I had to Google it. It was called a Cyberman. Yes, but they didn't really look like Cybermen. Favourite companion, Sylvester McCoy. So, Ace! Oh, we're getting the Ace Avengers. Many a tricky situation solved with a baseball bat. Most looking forward to the Cyber Darling. Oh, no, you said no spoilers. I'm really looking forward to telling somebody the great adventure of the story and making another generation of kids and maybe some adults. If you call me an adult, yeah, I'm there with you, right? I'm there with you. Hide behind the sofa just as long as the Cyberman isn't back there. Philip Sims, so he did. So he's a production designer. Interesting. So they're not getting the guy from who was his name again? Gareth something or other. He was the production designer for the initial run, right? And production design is very important. They're essentially the one who designs the new TARDIS. So Phil's extensive CV as art director and supervising art director includes the 6th and 7th Mission Impossible films. Are those ones not out yet? I think they're not out yet. Episode 9 of the Star Wars saga. Well, I'm sorry about that, mate. But look, they look nice. Production design was good. Guardians of the Galaxy and all these things have solid production design. Avengers Age of Ultron. In 2017, he was a production designer on the USS Callista, one of the most acclaimed episodes of Black Mirror. That was a Star Trek pastiche one. Okay, he knows what he's doing, right? He can stay. So his first thing he remembers is first episode he saw was Destiny of the Daleks. He remembers the Daleks from Armor and K9, although it's bitty as it was, literally hiding behind the settee of my grand's. Favorite companion, she's not from the classic era, but Rose Tyler, good choice. I'm looking forward to designing a new Dalek. Can I say that? No, and I'm glad that you did. See, this is the sort of thing you would never hear in the Chibnall era, right? Because, you gotta keep those spoilers. No, I'm excited, you idiot moron. I'm excited now. There's gonna be a new Dalek. Thank you. You got me worked up. It doesn't take me much. Jane Tranter, the other heart of Hot and Milfy. I think she's the Milfy part of Hot and Milfy. Still pretty hot herself. Recipient of the BAFTA Special Award for Creative Contribution. Look, Jane Tranter is a modern day Verity Lambert. Jane was the BBC's first ever drama commissioner and later controller of fiction. It's like, it makes you think she's in the, what's that word? The Mind Robber. Oh, that was really annoying me. The controller of fiction. Overseeing all BBC's drama, comedy output, film output. In 2008, she moved to Los Angeles, where they did that not very good version of Torchwood. And started Adjacent Productions and BBC Worldwide Productions. In 2015, she returned to UK to launch Bad Wolf. So the first thing the first Doctor Who she remembers watching, she suspects it was Terror of the Autons, but I'm going to say claim Tomb of the Cybermen. Well, I find one to claim. Partly because Cybermen, a tomb, what's not to love? But partly because it's just got so much in depth and soul to it, and it's there's a particularly beautiful scene between the Doctor and Patrick Troughton and Victoria Deborah Watling when they talk about the loss of missing people. Yeah, it's the truly beautiful scene, right? That's one of the truly beautiful scenes of Doctor Who. And then that bit, which made me long to be in the TARDIS, still does, that encapsulates Doctor Who for me. Remember, our lives are different from everybody else's. That's the exciting thing. No one in the universe can do what we're doing. And that's true. Anybody, anywhere, everywhere. Your life is unique, right? So her favourite commander is Jo Grant. She was the first way into Doctor Who, and such a style icon for me. Yeah, she was. Her and was it Gary Bevan? Was it? What was his name? The person that she married in the TV show. Dr. Smith. What's the name of the actor? But they were like super hip in the day. And indeed for Big, was it? There's such an icon for Little Me, and indeed Big Me. I have seen little reason to move on. So what's she most looking forward to? Simply being part of the team that was bringing Russell's new vision for Doctor Who onto the screen. There is a brilliant and talented group of clever people, hard-working people gathered in Bad Wolf Studios, pulling together to rise the inspirational challenge. To rise to the inspiring challenge ahead. Other than that, shooting Gatwa, obviously. Is there more? Okay, fine. So next thing, I'm going to go with the next thing on my live stream, which again, which for me is in the future, for you is in the past, right? I'm probably going to clip that out and make our own video of it. But happy days are here again. I mean, I think that's the headline. Happy days are here again. Normal service has been resumed. Doctor Who, listen, it might suck, okay? It might suck, but guys, let's be optimistic. Let's look on the bright side, Let's look on the bright side. It's a good thing, right? It looks like it's going to be awesome. And I'm having fun, right? For the first time in as long as I can remember, I'm having fun with Doctor Who. So Thank you, Rusty Davies, and thank you for all these strange happenstances that have they've brought these disparate strands together. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the story of how this miraculous event, I do call it miraculous event, came into being. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.